Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Renu Tyagi from Department of Anthropology, University of Delhi. Today we will be discussing the module Population Aging, Global, Asian and Indian Perspective under the paper Biosocial Gerontology. The learning objective of the module are: number 1 is to understand the concept of population aging. Number 2 is to learn about the global, Asian and Indian scenario of the population aging. And number 3 is to understand the important statistics of population aging and its implication in the Indian context. The population aging is felt globally as the population of elderly is projected to exceed to that of the younger person by 2050. Population aging is driven by falling fertility rates, mortality rates and notable improvement in the life expectancy. The number of people aged 65 or older is projected to grow from 524 million in 2010 to about 1.5 billion in 2050, with most of the increase in the developing nations. The proportion of the individuals aged 80 years or above, that is oldest old category of the elderly, is projected to rise from 1% to 4% of the global population by 2050. The significant improvement in the life expectancy over the past few centuries were part of a shift in the leading cause of disease and death. Now let's have a look at the global scenario. The global number of centenarians is projected to be 10 times in 2050 as compared in 2010, according to an estimate by World Health Organization given in 2016. The percentage of the elderly population is increasing and it is projected to increase globally. China with the largest number, that is 12 million, United States of America with 9 million, India with 6 million, Japan with 5 million, Germany with 3 million and Russian Federation with another 3 million are the nations which accounts for the 54% of the elderly of 80 years and above. In comparison, about 51% of 60 plus elderly in China, the only country more populous than India, are currently females. However, the proportion of the 60 years and above adult female in Brazil and United States of America are also projected to decline rather than increase in the next 35 years. Increasing life expectancy is humanity's greatest achievement. People live longer because of the improved nutrition, medical advancement, healthcare awareness and facilities, education and economic well-being. Life expectancy at birth is over 80 now in 33 countries. At present, only Japan has an older population of more than 30%. However, 64 countries are expected to join Japan with an older population of more than 30% by 2050. This demographic shift brings opportunities for an active and healthy aging population. Now let's have a look at this figure which shows the global population aging. The implications of the population aging need to be understood. Economies are globalizing, people are more likely to live in cities and technology is evolving rapidly. These transitions involving rapid demographic and family changes means there will be fewer older people with families to care for them. People today have fewer children, are less likely to be married and are less likely to live with their older generations. With declining support from the families, society will need better information and tools to ensure the well-being of the elderly population. There is an epidemiological transition characterized by the decline in infections and acute diseases, emerging chronic and degenerative diseases. In elderly, the non-communicable diseases are responsible for more than 85% disease burden in low, middle and high income countries. The Global Burden of Disease report in 2010 found that non-communicable disease and disability caused a greater share of the health loss in 2010 as compared to in 1990 in most regions of the world. In Global Aging in Adult Health, that is SAGE survey, conducted in several low and middle income countries including India, China, Ghana and Russian Federation, the rates of daily smoking among 50 plus year Indian adults were as high as 46.7%, the highest of all countries surveyed. Overweight and obesity are also rising among the elderly population in India. As per the recent survey, 63% of the adult of 65 years and above were classified as overweight or obese. Obesity is on the rise in India in part due to a combination of readily available high-fat content food, products and increasingly sedentary lifestyle. In a longitudinal study done in India, LASI pilot survey, about 1500 elderly, that is 69% of the respondents reported absence of physical exercise. About 29% of the female and 20% of the male were reported to be overweight. Now let's see this figure which shows the burden of dementia in low and middle income countries and high income countries. Demographic trends in Asia. Among those aging nations, the fastest include the Japan, Korea and Singapore, where the ratio of the older population, that is 65 years and above, compared to the working age population, that is 15 to 64 years of age, will be between 58 and 70% by 2050. There are a number of countries including India, Philippines and Pakistan with much younger population that will have a dependency ratio, that is relationship between the economically working population and non-working population, at or below the 21% by 2050. Several countries in Southeast Asia as well as in China are expected to have a dependency ratio of 42% by 2050. Modernization in the developing countries might worsen the situation of the elderly. The most crucial component of the modernization which may affect the family support for the aged is urbanization and industrialization. The first and perhaps the most important byproduct of the urbanization is age-selective rural-urban migration, which separates the generations physically and curtails the traditional heritage of providing support to the parents by children. In 1950, Asian region has been accounted for only 44% of the global elderly population, and this proportion is projected to rise to by 62% by 2050. China, Singapore and Korea are the currently in stage of aging societies and expected to become the aged societies before 2020. However, Japan has already become a hyper-aged society with more than 20% of the aged of 65 years and above in 2006. In China, the elderly population is projected to increase by 30% of the total population by 2050. The contribution of the older person to the total population of Bangladesh elevated from 4.8% to 5.2% in 2000, which is further projected to increase to be over 17% by 2050. The proportion of the elderly in Bhutan is the third highest in the South Asia, and it is projected to exceed 10% in 2025 and 23% by 2050. Elderly population of India is projected to increase up to more than 11% by 2025 and to 20% by 2050. The elderly population in Nepal has reached 7.8% in 2025 and 14% by 2050. Countries namely Japan and Singapore only have universal social security for the elderly. In most of the Asian countries, the pension are restricted to the government employees and to small percentage of the formal private sector workers. The pension amount seems to be so small and insufficient to provide the living cost of the elderly people. An elderly care insurance system was implemented in Japan in 2000 and a chronic care system was implemented in South Korea in 2008. South Asia together with the Sub-Saharan Africa ranks lowest in the social security coverage with 5 to 10% of the economically active population covered by the social security system. In India, out of an estimated workforce of 397 million, only 28 million employed in the formal sector were covered by the Social Security. In most countries of the Asian region, people involved with the agriculture and urban informal sector, which constitute majority of the workforce, remain without any social security. Extending the social security can be viewed as a long-term solution for the increasing elderly population. Therefore, alternative welfare mechanisms need to be focused to provide income security for them. In terms of the absolute number of 60 years and above, India is second next to the China. The population of 80 years and above has more than doubled over the past 65 years and is projected to constitute 48 million individuals by 2015. India's demographic change poses major challenges in the areas of social security and health, especially the increasing disease burden due to non-communicable diseases, gender differentials, including specific needs and vulnerabilities of an increasingly elderly female population, and financial security. Now let's have a look at this table, which shows the countries with the greatest absolute number of adults of 60 years and above. A comparison of population aging indicators in India and Japan shows the latter being evidencing higher life expectancy and higher healthy life expectancy with greater contribution to total population of the elderly. This table shows the indicators of population aging in Japan and India. The sex ratio for different countries shows that India and Bangladesh only displayed the sex ratio of more than 100. The less developed countries portrays a picture of higher sex ratio as compared to the more developed nation. This table shows the sex ratio for people aged 65 years or elderly in 20 countries. Now let's have a look at the Indian scenario. Indian population of 1.31 billion comprise 17% of the world's total population. The population share of the adult of 60 years and above in India has grown almost 6 times since 1950. India's population will overtake China by 2028. India's total fertility rate has decreased from 5.9 in 1950 to 2.3 in 2013, and it is projected to fall further to 1.88 by 2050. Life expectancy at birth has improved from 36.2 years in 1950 to 67.5 years in 2015 and projected to rise to 75.9 years by 2050 as per an estimate by United Nations given in 2015. This table shows the demographic description of Indian elderly population. In India, there are nearly 104 million elderly persons of 60 years and above, including 53 million females and 51 million males. From 5.6% in 1961, the proportion of elderly has increased to 8.6% in 2011. Amongst these, 71% of the elderly reside in rural areas, while 29% in the urban areas. The sex ratio of the elderly person was as high as 1028 in 1951, which dropped and then again increased to 1033 in 2011. The old age dependency ratio increased from 10.9% in 1961 to 14.2% in 2011. The working age population is increasing since 1971 and has reached 60.3% as per the population census 2011. In rural areas, 66% of elderly men and 28% of the elderly women were working, while in the urban areas, only 46% of the elderly men and about 11% of the elderly women were working. The percent of the literates among elderly persons increased from 27% in 1991 to 44% in 2011. The literacy rate among the elderly females is 28%, which is less than the half of the literacy rate among the elderly males with 59% literacy rate. The prevalence of the heart diseases among elderly population was much higher in the urban areas than in the rural areas. Most common disability among the aged person was found to be locomotor disability and visual disability. This table shows the elderly population in India with different kind of disease profile among males and females. As per Census 2011, state-wise data on the elderly population indicate that Kerala has the maximum proportion of the elderly population. That is about 12.6%, followed by the Goa with 11.2%, and then next is Tamil Nadu with 10.4%. This may be due to the lifestyle and the better medical facilities in their respective states. The least proportion is in Dadra and Nagar Haveli with 4%, followed by Arunachal Pradesh with 4.6%, and Daman and Diu and Meghalaya both 4.7%. The life expectancy at birth in Kerala is 71.8 years and 77.8 years for males and females respectively, as per the SRS report in 2009 and 13. At the age of 16 years among males, Punjab has the highest life expectancy of 19.3 years, and lowest value was observed in the Assam and Madhya Pradesh, followed by Himachal Pradesh and Kerala. For females, however, the highest life expectancy at the age of 60 years is 21.6 years in Kerala and lowest in Bihar with 17.5 years. Now let's have a look at the financial independence and social security in the elderly population. According to the National Sample Survey 60th round, majority of the elderly in India are facing the economic, health and social insecurity. In India, poor economic status, lower literacy, lack of public awareness, political insensitivity, changing family dynamics are some of the limitations in providing the adequate care and services to the elderly. The elderly women are more disadvantaged compared to the elderly men. About 65% of the aged are dependent on the others for their daily activities. Less than 20% of the elderly women, but majority of the elderly men were economically independent. Financial support to economically dependent elderly men is provided by their spouse in 7% of cases, their children in 85% of cases, by their grandchildren in 2% of cases, and by others in 6% of the cases. Elderly women are financially supported by their spouse in less than 20% support, their children with more than 70%, their grandchildren 3%, and others 6%. This table shows the distribution of economically dependent elderly by a person supporting them. Now let's see the work participation among the elderly population. Estimates from the India's most recent census indicate that 42% of the adult of 60 years and above and 22% of the adult of 80 years and above still participate in the workforce. The rate of the workforce participation among elderly adults were markedly higher in the rural areas than in the urban areas. It was much higher among the males than among the females, from 26.8% in Goa to 53.5% in the Nagaland. Only individuals who have worked in the organized sector while working in the government organization or private corporations were eligible to receive the pensions after their retirement. An estimated 83% of the India's working population, however, is the unorganized sector and therefore not entitled to receive any pension or retirement benefit in the old age. Less than 10% of the population currently receive a pension of any kind. According to the National Sample Survey Organization 60th round report, in India, 52% older persons were fully dependent on others, while 33.5% were not dependent on the others. According to this report, 84% people work in the informal sector and another 8% were working in the informal sector. But there is no system for social security in old age for these people. This data has policy implications for social security in old age. A considerable proportion of the elderly population is living alone, which has increased remarkably during the recent past. The loneliness is the more prominent in case of the females, which remains a matter of great concern. The disability among the elderly population has increased more rapidly than those of the total population. Now let's have a look at the different health challenges faced by the elderly people. The nation faced triple burden of the disease comprising both infectious and chronic diseases and violence and injury, particularly violence against women and the girls. In India, the status of the non-communicable diseases (NCD) is transforming rapidly. The NCDs, including the cardiovascular diseases, cancer, chronic respiratory diseases, diabetes and other prevalent, increase with the age. In the past few decades, the non-communicable disease have surpassed the infectious, nutritional, maternal and perinatal condition as a cause of death, both in absolute number and percentage. This table shows the distribution of the chronic disease among elderly population by gender in India. Prevalence of the disease among elderly population is much higher in the urban areas than in the rural parts, especially the heart diseases, hypertension, diabetes and cancer, etc. About 64 per 1,000 elderly person in rural areas and 55 per 1,000 in the urban areas suffer from one or more disabilities. The prevalence of the mental illness is also rising as the population age, with the prevalence of mental illness among older adults may be as high as 27%, with depression, anxiety, bipolar disorders, dementia and alcohol dependence predominating as reported by Reddy et al. In 2013. A characteristic feature of compression of morbidity, that is the reduction of the portion of the human lifespan spent living with disease and disability, was reported by Fries in 1980. Evidence exists that years of the disease and disability are increasing for older Indians as lifespans grow longer. Fueling the growing burden of the NCDs is an increase in the prevalence of four major chronic diseases risk factors, that is tobacco use, obesity, physical inactivity and alcohol consumptions. India's recent non-communicable disease morbidity and mortality increase are even more pronounced among the older adults than in the general population. Multi-morbidity increase in India will most likely mean an even more costly and complicated illness burden. Another characteristic feature of the population aging is feminization. Accompanying the aging of the Indian population is increasing feminization in older age group, which brings its own unique issues and challenges. Although average age life expectancy has increased dramatically in India, it has not risen equally for males and females. Although women's life expectancy at birth has long exceeded men's, as in most countries globally, the life expectancy gender gap has been widening in India. In India, women are significantly disadvantaged in terms of education and literacy relative to both their male contemporaries. According to the IHDS second, as of 2012, only about 22% of the Indian women aged 65 or over were literate, compared with the 55% of men in this age group. However, more recent improvement in educational access and opportunities have been achieved for the women. Women in India have historically not owned assets due to the nation's patriarchal inheritance system, in which assets and property are kept within a family's male lineage income security. Another major challenge of the population aging in India is income and housing security for older adults. This is due to the part to a changing social and economic landscape in which the traditional family support system is breaking down. In India and in many Eastern South Asian countries, family has traditionally provided the support to their elderly, with sons responsible for caring their parents. However, evidence indicates that this support system has been declining due to the factors such as increased urbanization and mobility. Now let's have a look at the indices of population aging. The old age dependency ratio is one such index, which shows an increasing trend, and the ratio has risen from 10.9% in 1961 to 14.2% in 2011. The gap between female and male old age dependency ratio has been an increasing trend. According to 2011 census, the old age dependency ratio are 15.1 and 12.4% for rural and urban areas respectively. The difference between the rural and urban old age dependency ratio was significantly high in the states like Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh. Now let's summarize what we have learned so far in this module. Perpetuating demographic changes in India indicates the bimodal population growth. The share of both the younger and the older population in the country are increasing simultaneously. The former because of the momentum generated by the past fertility, and the latter because of the sustained improvement in the major demographic parameters and growing longevity. With a growing bulge in the working age population, there may be a fast growing pool of the labor market participants with very high pressure on the labor market clearance mechanism. A growing bulge in the size of the elderly population have implications on micro and macro social structure of the society. In the socio-economic arena, population aging will have an impact on the health and the healthcare, family composition, living arrangements, housing, migration, economic growth, savings, etc. Most of the countries in the Asias are facing the dual challenge of the rapidly growing population and inadequate social security coverage due to the limited financial resources. The support services can strengthen the family ties and remove the generation gap. The elderly people could be provided with the helpline services round the clock across different geographical locations, irrespective of their caste, class and gender background. Various schemes and the programs initiated by the government are trivial considering the ever-expanding elderly population. Welfare of the elderly can be considered as the most critical area for intervention because of growing urbanization, industrialization in developing countries, economic factors and diminishing value system within the family and community. So there is a need to deal with the major geriatric issues in more effective way. Thank you.